What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my channel, the GodStitchd. Today's episode, I'm going to be showing you how I came up with the design for these tutus. I'm going to give you all the sauce, all the instructions and materials to achieve this look. Stay tuned. Talking to myself, so without further ado, we're going to get into how I came up with the look for these tutus. Alright, so the first things first, you want to get your materials, and I'm going to list the materials in a second. But first, before we get into anything, like, subscribe, share, what have you, get these numbers up. I'm trying to get my numbers up, so I greatly appreciate that. So without further ado, let's get into the materials. So beyond the obvious fact that you're going to need a sewing machine and thread, you're also going to need tool fabric, at least 7 yards. You're going to need a rotary cutter or scissors, either one would work. And you're also going to need your elastic. Now your elastic, you're going to need at least 12 to 15 inches, depending on the size of the tutu you're going to make. Here's a blueprint of the size chart. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have 7 yards total. Now since this bulk came with 10 yards, I decided to unravel at least 3 yards to cut away from the bulk. That way I have 7 yards total to make my tutu. Once you finish that, you want to make sure the length of your tool is 12 inches long. You want to make sure you cut the edges. Make sure they're nice and sharp. For that clean edge look, it should look something like this. Take it over to your sewing machine. Just unravel it. Take a look at it. Right now you should have 2 layers of tulle right there. Just unravel it. Make sure it stays neat. Now you hold it in your hand. When you separate it, you should have 2 layers. Now what you want to do right now is fold it in half, like so. Okay, and now that folded edge is going to be the edge where we make our channel. The same channel that the elastic is going to go through. So you want to make sure that opening is about an inch long. A good inch should do for an opening. And once you measure that up, you get that squared away, you're going to sew a channel all the way down through the tool. Make sure it's nice and even, nice and straight. And you begin to sew. All the way till you reach the end. When you finish, you should have something that looks similar to this. Nice channel. This is the pocket that we're going to put the elastic through. It should fit perfectly. Next, what you want to do is take it over to the sewing machine. Observe it. Open it up. Make sure the channel is on the left side when you open it. You should have 2 pieces of fabric on each side once you open it. You want to grab your ribbon and place the right side that you opened over the ribbon. That way it lines up. You want to sew that down. Keeping it squared, making sure that the tool and the ribbon is even. And sew it all the way to the end. When you finish that, it should look just like this. Keeping in mind when you open it up, you still got that tool to the left. You got that side, and you got this side. Now what we're going to do is grab our other ribbon and do exactly what we did to the first one. So what you want to do is open it up. Have it facing the same way. So you have that ribbon just underneath the tool, but on this side. And you're going to do the exact same thing. Line it up. Sew it all the way to the end. Once you reach the end, you should have it look like this. Open it up. You got one ribbon peeking through and the other one laying on top, with your channel at the top, ready for your elastic. So what I like to do is I usually attach a safety pin to the elastic. That way I have something to pull through the channel as I, kind of guide it through. Easier said than done, let me tell you. So what you want to do is just use the safety pin method. And kind of push that through there like that. Make sure you leave that opening. The worst thing you could do is pull the elastic through before you can connect it to the other side. And you may have to start over. Once you get that all the way through, what you want to do is sew the two ends together. Take your safety pin out. Begin spreading it out to your desire and begin fluffing. And that's your tutu. Last but not least, your little bow. Now this is easier said than done too, so I figured I'd show a good way to tie a bow with the two bunny ears. Flip that around there like that and pull those tight. Not too tight though, because you still want to be able to adjust it by pulling on the excess. That way they both are even on both sides. Hold it in the middle while you pull. And bam. Got yourself a nice little bow. And that's it. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Any questions, leave them in the comments. Let's get our numbers up, baby.